So now you push the button. I see how it is. Welcome to Monday Munch, everybody. As usual, we're not prepared.
We are always prepared.
Just because we have a rubber in our pockets doesn't mean we're always prepared.
We're about as smooth as sandpaper starting out, but we're ironing out some technical difficulties.
I'm gonna say so. This time is on purpose that we're not so smooth. I'm making sure that everything is gonna stream like it should.
Are you gonna cut out and go back?
No, it's good. We're good.
Okay. Hi, everybody who may be watching this now. Welcome to Monday Munch. We're so very happy you're here. Today's really like a favorite topic. How gay am I?
How queer am I, dear?
So we're discussing pride and love beyond labels. Oh, we've got 3 people already in here.
I think I'm one of them. I'm over here on the thing. I don't know if it shows that or not.
I don't have a backup phone to be on here, but welcome to Monday Munch. That's Mr. and Jen.
That's us.
All right, I am working.
I'm Ray.
Sure, if it works.
That's Ray.
Hi, Ray.
I even got my name altered for me, thanks. But I'm basic. Wow.
That's what I was saying. If you guys noticed yet.
There we go. Now I've noticed it. So Mr. gets there we go. Thank you. Mr. still gets one of these. It's a 1-finger salute for those that are just listening to the audio version.
I'm this whole
real quick, I wanted to share a funny before we get rolling. I had somebody ask me the other day if I was straight, and me being me, I'm a smartass. I said, "Sure, I'm about as straight as a triangle."
Yup. Which, speaking of triangles, really fun fact that I didn't know and learned today. Mister, would you like to explain what you taught me earlier about the triangles? So, okay, apparently in the 40s, when the Nazi shit was going on, the Nazis used the triangle and made the gays wear triangles to identify them. And lots were killed because of that triangle. But in was it the 70s or the 80s? The 70s, I think.
70s.
The community decided to take the triangle back, and that was the original symbol for the gay community. And then Gilbert, the flag designer, it's not Gilbert Grape. Gilbert, the flag designer, designed the
can't remember his last name.
Baker.
Baker, yep.
Who had him do it though?
Oh, Harvey Milk.
Harvey Milk and Gilbert Baker got together, designed the pride flag. It was originally like a zillion colors. It had turquoise and pink in it, but the turquoise and pink was taken out. And now, why was the turquoise and pink taken out? Other than it was expensive to make pink.
It was expensive to make pink. That was it. Like they had to cut it down for that reason initially. And then after Harvey
that
Milk was assassinated, they removed the pink and the turquoise because they didn't feel like it was. The turquoise represented life. And they felt with Harvey being gone and taken away from it, it removed the life aspect of it.
They did it in his honor, in a way.
Well, in 2004, Baker pushed to have it brought back to the original 7-color flag, or 8 colors, whatever it is.
I don't know.
7 colors.
Hey, Allie.
Hello.
Yeah, that was the push there. And so now we got like a 50-color flag.
So that's part of our Pride Trivia. I'm hosting a Pride Trivia on Clapper app, a live stream Pride Parade I will be a part of this Thursday, and I would love if y'all join me there. We're going to have some fun trivia questions. That will be one of them, so you can win a prize. I gave you clues. I'm very excited.
Me too. I am still fiddling around over here. Sorry, guys. Okay, so that didn't work like I was supposed to. I guess the key is off.
Forgive Mister. He's playing around with a new platform, so he's figuring out how things work and how to best annoy everybody because that's
When I found out I had a penis at like 9 years old, I did nothing but play with that too. So,
I mean,
Okay.
fair.
Same.
Happy belated Father's Day for any father figures out in the world listening. Also, happy Juneteenth.
Yep.
Also, even if you don't have kids, happy Daddy's Day.
Happy Daddy's
Yeah,
Day.
yeah.
That's right, Daddy. I said the other day, daddies are fathers too, or fathers are daddies too. Either way. Either way. Like, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So really cool. I talked to a lady the other night. We were talking about my beard, and it was it rainbow color that night, I think. I think it was actually just the rainbow again. And I talked about possibly doing something with Juneteenth. And she was all hyped for it. She loved this woman. I've met her a couple times, waiting on her before. But I was talking about doing it for Juneteenth, but I wasn't sure if I should and all this stuff. Me being,
Palm colored.
Palm colored.
Yes, we are.
But she, and her being a black lady, I was like, that's like, I know she doesn't represent all black people, but that was like the one person, if I'm going to have a discussion with, is that wrong to do? And she was like, no, fuck no. She's like, representation's representation. And she's like, are you gay? I was like, no. She's
Bam.
Like, you got a rainbow on your face, don't you? I was like, sure.
Bam. Be a proud ally.
What I did, rather than the word gets thrown around, but the appropriation version of the red, the green, the yellow, of that kind of Juneteenth theme based off the African colors. This is the actual flag color. There's an actual Juneteenth flag that flies over some capitals, and it is blue, red, and in the middle it has a white design.
With a white star and a white nova.
So,
and the nova is the expanding of the star. The star is an ode to Texas. There's a curve specifically in the flag as well between the red and the blue. The red has an arching curve to show the horizon and the new beginnings that it was to represent.
Learned something new about it even more. I thought it was just really cool that there was a different flag than what I had envisioned when I typed in the Juneteenth flag. Was going to figure out how to stripe it in.
Beautiful flag. It's gorgeous.
Like that, Texas could rock that whole fucking flag if they quit being so fucking backwards, and it'd be beautiful.
I mean, they could. They really, really could if they acquiesced their ability to have their state flag high as the nation's flag, and they got rid of their bigotous, hateful mentality as a whole. They pushed harder for education to, amplify that message. Yeah, if they rock that, I would be all for it. But if they tried to appropriate it right now, I'd be storming walls.
So, yeah.
Hi, Lav. That's okay. Sometimes we were early today.
Yeah, we did go a little early. Oh, look at there.
I'm sorry if we came early.
What does that say? What does that say, Jason? Read that for me.
It says, hello, Alice, looking gorgeous as ever. And they are not wrong, Alice. You're always slaying.
Much less so now than I was earlier. I have taken off several layers of clothing.
Oh, laugh.
Don't put that one on the screen.
Do not put that one on the screen. What?
Why not?
So, today's topic, of course, is pride and all the outside loving that those of us of the LGBTQIA plus can see, can feel, can love, and it's a celebration therein. I know I have personally grown a lot more comfortable with how queer I am, even though I was on the day I was so emboldened to come out of the closet and just preach to the world that, hey, I'm bisexual. And then even last year, I'm like, hey, I'm pansexual. And now I'm like, yeah, so I've learned a lot, and I'm growing, changing my pronouns, shedding this idea of an identity. I am going to embrace every part of me that is me, and anybody that's not okay with it can just move on as I learn and grow.
Yes. I love that. This is a very, very good mindset to have accomplished and wrapped yourself around. Good job.
You is good human.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's not working. Okay, I'm not fucking with it anymore. So.
That's
yeah,
what
I've been fucking it with it for like 25 minutes
You're
now.
right. You're right.
So I came across a small epiphany today, and this is mildly off topic, but it's something to talk about while Mr. is messing with the app. So, who here is familiar with the fandom of cyberpunk?
A bit.
Cyberpunk takes place in the future when it was originally written, and now, of course, it's now, but the newest one is 2077, so we're looking 55, 54 years now in the future. And they use a term for like dude or whatever is a contextual thing, but it's choom. But I think I figured it out. Go ahead, Alice. Please interject.
Chum means friend in the same way that bud means friend.
All right. The way I was referencing this is from the anime Edge Runners.
It's the same thing.
Hear me out. Rebecca refers that to only David, but nobody else gets referred to that. However, David in that show is the only cis het white male. CHWM, kind of like pone, but choom. I'm just gonna let y'all wrap your heads around that one if you want to. And not to say that it's a bad thing, because cis is not a slur. A cis het male is not a slur.
It is when I say it.
Well, half the things you say are when you say them.
Exactly.
You're an asshole, though, mister, and we love you for it because we accept you as the asshole that you are. At least you're an asshole in the right direction. You're not going to be an asshole to me because of who I am, but somebody giving me grief for who I am, you're going to be an asshole to them.
Especially when we're conversating. I'm never going to be an asshole.
Motherfucker!
Okay, again with the saying that as it's a bad thing.
No, I was saying it as fact. He knows it pushes my button.
I would never.
I was referring to you using motherfucker as if it was a bad thing. It's not.
Yep.
I know, because otherwise you mothers wouldn't get none.
Exactly.
Because I'm a mother lover. You're a mother lover.
We should fuck each other's mothers.
Fuck each other's moms.
I love that.
That was a great performance, mister. We should go on tour.
On tour. I'm down.
I have no idea now for accurate representation here.
The Lonely Island, Mother Lover. I got you.
I'm aware of it.
Okay.
No, I was trying to, create some plausible deniability, but you just had to,
You sounded like you weren't being included, and I wanted you to make sure you were included.
Yeah,
I know you're trying to be inclusive. Right. Alice, you are far too quiet. What's going on?
Honestly, still recovering from Lav's comment a little bit.
Nice.
Hi, Mickey Mouse.
Hi, welcome.
Nikki's one of my friends over on the Tickety Talky Appity.
I love
Welcome.
Animal.
I'm also sitting at a slightly different angle because one of my screens broke, so I'm just have this monitor over here.
Oh, that's no fun.
But your webcam's sitting on the other one, so it's giving us it makes us feel like you're giving us a side eye.
Yeah.
It's not a webcam. It's a fucking $1,300 camera up on a tripod.
Oh, I see. Aren't you special?
Let's see. I have a $13 camera mounted.
I think you need to make more porn. I mean,
That's
porn.
Jen, that's the plan.
All right. Stick to it.
I got
With all the sticky cum. I meant what?
$800 mic, $1,300 camera. They need to be put to proper use.
$600 phone.
So anywho,
$300 bus ticket. What?
so anywho, Mickey Mouse, yes, we do try to be very friendly and welcoming to all people that are friendly and want to actually be here for the right reasons.
So
Thank you for being
here.
We obviously all appreciate assholes.
Good fucking God. That was the second
one. So in speaking of zebras, so tonight we're talking about all kinds of things LGBT. I don't remember the exact title of this because I never remember the exact title of these things after I type them in. But we'll start stereotypes, because a lot of misconceptions and positive stereotypes and negative stereotypes exist. Ray, you look hyped as fuck about this, so let's roll with it.
I just have one that really I hear a lot, that just because I am pansexual and can be attracted to anyone does not mean I am attracted to everyone.
Amen.
Or
Fucking-
pans or bread.
Exactly.
right? Pinche pansexual.
But I do like that our friend has the pan love on her phone, but it's pancakes.
Okay, no, but that's kind of cute.
That one
She's cute as fuck.
I'll accept.
She's cute as fuck too, so it works.
And I'm sorry, when it comes to being with pans, the only pan that should be in anybody's hand is in Samwise Gamgee's, because, no nerds. Okay, thanks.
Boil 'em, mash
Sorry.
'em, stick 'em in a
I'll
stew.
see myself out now.
Oh, I'm with you. I have this. I was waiting on more.
But I don't know, especially when you combine it with me being both pan and poly, people make the assumption that I'm just a hoe that sleeps with everybody. I am not. I am selective. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh,
And also, like, just because I've introduced myself with these special clarifying words doesn't mean I'm interested in you in that way. I just want you to know who I am.
Indeed.
Really, today I have been questioning my
life.
I have been questioning my polyamorous. Like, am I fucking polyamorous? I can't even fucking one.
Okay.
Can't one, let alone even?
You can be poly and still be enough of a disaster that you can't handle one relationship. Those are not mutually exclusive.
Oh, it's not
I
a
mean,
relationship. It's the
person in the relationship.
no. That's
You know
not
what?
explaining myself right.
We believe in representation here and being inclusive. I know exactly how we're going to talk about some of these misconceptions.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
No, don't you dare.
Being gay is a choice.
Ah,
It's absolutely a choice.
All right, mister, take a step back.
And why is that?
he's doing it. He's doing it he's showing us the common misconceptions. He's throwing out what they say. What's our response?
Why do I need to take a step back?
Because you didn't bother to explain any of that. You just jumped into saying shitty things.
Well,
No,
Why I
he
warned
did
you.
say he did say this is how we're going to talk about some of these misconceptions.
I'm the outsider of the LGBT community, so
Being gay and or other things is not a choice.
I can't.
yes.
Yeah.
Some people did miss the context there. Absolutely. I firmly, one, don't believe that shit. But two, a lot of people come at anybody that's different, whether it's LGBT or ADHD or
I like to come on
autistic,
different
or
people.
and there are different things that people approach people and act like it's a choice. Stop being sad. You're not depressed. Just stop being sad.
Have you tried
right
touching
on.
grass, right?
I do like that one, but that's not like the depression version. That's the thirsty, creepy fuckers in the comments version for me. Like, bro, go touch some grass. Get off the internet for a little bit.
It started as shitty depression advice. It was, oh, if you're depressed, you just need to go outside and touch some grass, and then
But what if you're allergic to grass and then your face gets all swelly and puffy and then you're even more sad?
you see,
See, where in my version it works out, because if they're allergic to grass, their face gets all puffy and they can't look at the pictures on the internet and be thirsty.
So, Mister, back to your previous pedantic question. When somebody says you choose that, then I ask, why would a kid in Alabama or Mississippi choose to be gay? Why?
So if those kids are choosing to do anything, it's to cover up who they really are and how they really fucking feel, and that's sad. And that's one of the biggest things that I appreciate about Pride, is that there is a community that supports you and I and everybody for whoever they come as or whoever they come on.
Or in, or around, or through. I mean,
Yeah.
It's
or choose to be disowned by their family, as Nikki says down below.
the choice isn't be gay, not be gay. The choice is be authentic or not.
Bingo.
and that's the thing that people just really don't, as being a heterosexual person, I don't choose to be heterosexual, and that's the same argument. It's not a choice for me. I'm just attracted to what I'm attracted to. I mean,
right?
It's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, Ray just had to restabilize connection. We're good, Nikki.
Yeah, you're good.
That's all right. I came back under you, so we're good.
Sometimes you got to come under somebody, right?
If you got to come under somebody to get over somebody, we understand.
That's right. Get under 10 to get over 1.
Okay, how about another misconception?
Yeah.
Can we talk about the biggest elephant in the room that has been going around in today's society? Can we talk about that one?
That
Which
all
one?
LGBT people are fucking groomers?
That one. That one right fucking there.
That was actually the next one I was going to post up, was the
Alice,
LGBT people are a threat.
annihilate it.
Every group has bad people. No group is entirely bad people. Right. There will be some queer people who are unfortunately predatory toward children, but that those exist doesn't mean that every queer person is a threat, in the same way that predatory Christian pastors doesn't mean that every Christian is a pedophile.
Exactly. And it really like that just seems it's unfortunate. That's just the rhetoric that's pushed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially with certain laws being passed under the name of the Let the Kids Be Kids Act.
Or the Protect Children Act, or some other shit like that, depending where you are. And
oh gosh, that sounds great. That's what I want. I want the kids
yeah.
to be kids. I want to protect the kids.
I mean,
They're not talking gun legislation to protect the kids.
Right. Yeah.
You read that fine print, and they're burning our books, and they're destroying our history. And
if they cared about protecting kids, they would support a gender affirming care so fewer kids killed themselves.
Exactly.
100%.
I read a statistic that LGBT youth are like an insanely amount higher. I don't think he gave an exact number, but it's extremely higher risk for suicide. And then trans youth are even more at risk than that.
I think it was like a 20 and then a 40% risk. I think it gave you percent.
Well, when you are telling children that they don't exist or that who they are is wrong. It makes more sense that being on this plane would not be desirable.
And as much as I have the thoughts that I have, that those Mr. thoughts that get I don't let them out, most of the time. But the ones that are really bad, like I remember that you don't want to paint an image of anyone of your community or a community you stand up for to be a bad image, because if someone says something like that to me, I want to look at their child so badly and explain that certain things aren't real and just ruin all that for them. But all they're going to see is that this person was defending that group and said, Easter Bunny might not be, Jesus didn't leave his bunny behind for us.
Right. I mean, to attack somebody's belief system just because a portion of that belief system trashes on a marginalized community isn't fair. Most of all, in that instance, to the kid, because that kid can learn better than their parents are trying to teach them.
It makes people that react that way no better than the ones that are already, pushing.
But I can validate the amount of vitriol that you want to spew.
Oh yes.
Go ahead, Ray.
Something I try to remember before I respond how I would like to in a lot of situations. The one thing that always loses in a tug of war is the rope.
Ooh.
But I have a motto I've always stood by, and it's, fuck them kids. But that's just the whiny ass brats.
Mister, I love you. Time and place, dude. That was
Right?
not the time for that.
Thank you. Good job. I really appreciate that, Ray. Stop out.
You see his bald head right there, Jen. All you have to do is take your left hand up and bring it forward. There you go.
I've
Thank
stood
you.
by that motto my whole life.
Yeah, he says that a lot.
I will say that
harmful,
about any
just
person who's not actually a minor.
Right?
I'll
Like-
look at someone who's like 2 months younger than me and go, fuck that kid.
Like, okay, I came up in the rave society where everybody was a kid regardless of age because we were just party kids.
Mhm.
So when you say fuck them kids, those kids, I could say fuck them kids. But anybody under the age of 18, 17, consciousness deserves love, respect that is beyond what you would give the rest of the kids.
Oh, absolutely.
I still stick by that was not a good time for that.
I'm working on
very
my
much was
political
not.
career. Empty words are my new thing. So when I just say phrases, I'm down for it. Anyway.
Don't
Mr.
make
Be a
me
better
come
ally
to
than
the
that.
East Coast just to slap your bald head, bro.
That's half of what I do.
I would like to touch on another misconception that is, well, yes, but time and place, Miss Jen, damn it.
Sorry, y'all.
What's another misconception there, Ray?
I'm so sorry.
Nikki, you
That-
probably call me a kid then too. Go ahead, Rick. Sorry.
Another misconception that is actually fueling a lot of these laws passing is having to do with maps being recognized as a legitimate part of the community.
Oh my god.
All right, I gotta jump
We
in
don't
on
want them
this
either.
one. I gotta jump in on this one. Leftist spaces online like Facebook, Reddit, and Twitter have had a bunch of maps. Just call them pedophiles. That's what they are.
Yeah.
Coming in and being like, "Ooh, I'm legitimate. I'm gonna mentor these queer kids," and like using that as their method to groom, specifically targeting queer kids in crisis. Right. I'm not gonna drop any specific names right now, but there's a massive bunch of drama over on leftist Facebook because one of the biggest trans pages on Facebook came out and said, I'm a youth worker advocate, and I think it's okay that I started working with my partner when they were 14 and our relationship started when they were 16 and I'm 32.
Are they Republican?
No, supposedly they're a leftist.
That's bullshit.
But
So that's my theory on that.
Yeah.
we are not no, like the LGBT plus community does not recognize that as part of the community. We don't want them either. They're garbage humans.
If I go to a pride event and I see a MAP flag up, whoever's holding that flag, it's on site.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch a charge, and I hope y'all got the bail's money because I'm catching one.
So I do have a legitimate theory about that. I am fairly certain, much like with the recent election we had, that it's certain groups of people that are pretending to be, pretending to be pedophiles. Oh, so MAPS is minor attracted person.
Yep.
So pedophile. So
Yeah.
they're pretending to be this to project that image to the LGBT community, just so they can draw that bad image. I mean, it's almost a really shitty attempt of a Trojan horse.
I don't think they have the mentality for that. I think their way of doing it is a way of trying to reach a level of acceptance on the coattails of the LGBTQ push to reach acceptance.
I actually am on Mr.'s side on this one, surprisingly.
What?
There are, again, in social media spheres, there are a lot of like pages that got really big as trans pages, then detransitioned and immediately jumped into alt-right bullshit. And those, and like I mentioned the drama about the pages, like there's like 13 of them at this point that all have over 30,000 followers being like, oh, hey, by the way, I support MAPS and this is okay. And it is like every time it's someone who has a platform, it feels like it was a plan from the beginning, right? That they built a platform being a reasonable, decent leftist, and then boom, all of a sudden they're anti-trans or they're MAP supporting or like they're grooming. The word for that is specifically agent provocateur.
I'm Mr. Jen now. But yeah, so there actually is a word for that because, like I said, I remember seeing that a lot after the last presidential election, and it was coming out that certain figures that were bad talking from the Democratic standpoint were actually either somehow Russian people, or they were just Republicans posing as Democrats so they could do that. It really seems like.
You mean like the one in y'all's house?
What?
You mean like the one in y'all's house where they were Democrat and then switched parties to give the supermajority?
Yeah,
what
kind of bullshit was that?
Or take a look at our fucking Senator Manchin, supposedly holding up the entire Democratic Party because he's so powerful and he's a Democrat, but he only votes on Republican policies.
At least Cinema dropped the D to stop the pretense bullshit.
But I feel like
we're digressing.
Oh, so in a little pop culture version of that, Kelly something on TikTok, trans woman. I think her name's Kelly. Anyway, she's really popular on TikTok. So trans woman, been trans, like went through an early transition in life, and then suddenly was trying to appeal to the right, and talking about they're bad and all this other shit, and then that wasn't working because the right was still like, no, go fuck yourself. And so now she's like, oh, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I can't be a part of that group. Will you guys have me back?
No, fuck off.
Right. And Pearl Mania, I love it. He released a video specifically talking to her, and he's like, you didn't get the money first. Like, Caitlyn Jenner got the money first. All these people got the money first, and you fucked up and was hoping to get the money after you turned to the other team. It didn't work. But bisexual people are just confused. You have to be one or the other.
Every bisexual person I've met has been pretty confused when it comes to people, but not their sexuality. Most of it's just like, how the fuck do I talk to women and I guess guys exist?
For me, like I said, I first came out bisexual, and I had, oh my God, the numbers of people came out and said, oh, you're just confused. I'm like, No, you don't understand. I could see a couple walking down the street and be like, wow, they're both hot. And I just want to crawl in the middle of both of them. There's no confusion. I like both sets of body parts. They are both physically attractive. All of each are beautiful. Both the masculine and the feminine. I enjoy this. There was no confusion.
Now, I will say one
Yes,
other part of that
right.
bisexual misconception is that bisexual men are just gay. That's another part of it.
Okay, yeah, no, because I tried to get out of the army under don't ask, don't tell, but if you tell, they throw your ass out, right? I tried because I was tired of the bullshit. Yeah, sandwich. I was tired of the bullshit, and literally my first sergeant pulled me in his office and said, "You get too much trim to be gay." I couldn't tell him about the cook down the hall that I was fucking because he wasn't ready to get out yet.
And
Good on you for
I
not
give
outing
you-
the cook, by the way.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I was
That's not
just
my
gonna
job.
say.
Yeah, I like
Nobody
to
should
make-
ever.
Hmm?
Nobody should ever out anybody else. So good on you.
Not even like a revenge or they fucked you over. None of that shit. Like
No.
that's below me, and that's low.
I will tell of one time that I outed someone, if you will. Hear me out. A person that I know used to think, feel, and act like us, and then they got with someone else, and that person was on the other side of the aisle, so they started flipping their voices. And when their kiddo came out as non-binary and pan, started giving them grief for their sexual orientation, I was like, wait a minute, I've seen your mother face down in a female's crotch. How the fuck did she got fucking room? Now, yes, was I wrong for outing her? Sure. Did it feel good? Fuck yeah, it did.
Right. But to be fair now, I mean, some people just experiment, so
That's
So you
acceptable.
didn't full on out. You just implied that at least once it had happened.
Sure. I mean, because I'm not one to speak on orientation. I didn't say anything about what this person was feeling. Go ahead, Alice.
So still kind of a shitty point to pull and be like, no, I know your mother better than that. Why is she saying this kind of shit, or what's going on here? Rather than no, I've seen her muff diving.
Right? No, it wasn't once, but I digress. That's not the point. Or who
that
it
is-
was.
That aside, I do want to caveat that maps deserve to be outed all the
yes.
time.
Yes. They're subhuman.
Yes.
They don't count.
To
They're
a
the only
certain
group.
extent, I honestly am going to agree and disagree with you.
If they're actively harming anyone, if they go, oh, I have
Exactly.
this thought, but I'm like seeking help and like don't want to hurt anybody, let them
Then don't
do
tell
their
anybody.
thing.
They got
But
a time limit.
They have a harm limit. As long as their harm is 0 and like they're not hurting anybody and they're like trying to get that dealt with, whatever.
Okay, I can get.
If
behind
they're actively hurting someone or they're actively grooming a kid or they're actively like being a predator, nah, fuck it. Everyone around them should know.
I watched a video like that the other day.
That's what I was gonna say. That's why I both agree and disagree.
So those are my favorite kind of vigilante justice type videos. To catch a predator got canceled, so now people are doing it on their own, and that makes me so happy. Like I could watch marathons of that.
That, to continue a little bit with what Alice was saying there, I think that should apply to anyone that has a problem that is actively seeking help and hurting no one.
Mhm.
Should be left to seek the help they need without continually being prosecuted for it, as long as they are harming 0.
Fair enough.
They step up to harming one, then there's a real harm and you're contributing by keeping their secret. But as long
Yes.
as they're at harm 0, let them get help.
So I got one more question for all my panelists.
Oh boy, he looked at me
Got-
like that. It's gonna be bad.
Got my pansexuals. I've got my transgenders. When are you guys gonna get out of this phase?
When Jesus comes back and tells me to. How about that?
All right, Mr.
So-
legitimate answer. When we develop the technology for me to put my brain in a robot body so I can be actually genderless.
I am down for that.
Hallelujah.
I have always hated that it's just a phase.
So like to challenge that a little bit, sometimes it is a phase. Like some people are like, hey, I want to try this out, and it just isn't right for them. And that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is absolutely fine to explore, and at the end of it, come back to being cishet and being like, you know what? Everything checks out.
And another thing that it's absolutely okay with, it's absolutely okay to have been married for 20 years because you got married when you were 14 and then finally realized that vagina is the best thing in the world.
Challenge, objection. It's not okay to get married at 14.
Oh, well,
Sustained.
okay. Wait. No, it's
The point
legal.
was it is completely okay to live the majority of your life thus far believing that you are something, and then learning about yourself and growing and changing and expressing who you are as you grow and develop.
I wanna add on to that a little bit. It's entirely possible that who or what you are can change outside of your control. So you could be like bisexual, and as you kind of learn and explore things, that can change. Not necessarily you discover that you were wrong about being bisexual, but that was what you were at the time. And with the new context, you go, oh, no, I'm pansexual. Right? That's completely fine. There was a while where I was going as a trans woman. I was using she, her, and I was like, you know what? That doesn't feel right either. And then I came back to the middle-ish asterisk because it's not really the middle.
So real quick, I want to address that where Nikki said they loved that show, but it got canceled because they were setting people up. No, it got canceled because some high-ranking official got busted, and I'm pretty sure unalived themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like that's why it got canceled. They got in trouble for that because important people aren't supposed to be doing those things. They don't do those things.
I'm sorry, did you say we're glad that Pat Robertson is dead? Me too.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's a good Pride Month thing there. Okay, so can I ask a question about the word title trans? I was yelled at this week because my understanding about the word was that it's a person going from one sex to another. Go ahead. The only transgender.
So what you need to understand is when you're assigned a sex at birth, you assign male, assign female, whatever, that if you identify with that is cis, right? That's what cisgender is. You are on the same side as the thing you were assigned at birth. Transgender is anything else. You could be assigned male at birth and find out you're a woman, or you could end up in the middle and be non-binary, or you could end up outside of it and be agender. You know, there's all sorts of different directions gender can go. And if it's anything other than lining up with the sex you were assigned at birth, you're trans.
You mean to tell me that DNA and biology aren't just cut and dry, black and white?
I do, before we get too far off of it, I do want to just add a little bit of more context to the Catch a Predator thing. It was specifically a prosecutor who got caught. Like the guy who charges people in the area that Chris Hansen was working and had worked with him in the past got caught, and then
reference or something. It's gross. So are we still recruiting others? I don't know. Like, is the community still doing the recruitment? Do we have our special secret LGBT recruiting session?
Again with that one, I say a child born in Mississippi is gay. Tell me how he got a hold of the agenda. All right, moving forward.
All right. You dropped the activation word, agenda. You know what the queer agenda is? It's the same for all gay, trans, and otherwise queer people. It's It's an average fucking life expectancy.
%.
And
And yeah, we have. They're really good. They're made with love.
So
But-
I'm over here playing with my boobies.
I would like to say something really quick.
Mhm.
Wait, over here. I'll get this right eventually.
So it's not that the community is recruiting at all. It's more we are paving the way and allowing for more people to openly express who they are. These people already existed. It just wasn't known.
All right,
I know
so
what you meant.
I wanna jump back on Nikki's other question real quick.
this one.
Sorry.
A gay male or a lesbian female can be cis, right? There's no reason really to refer to them as male and female unless you're like their doctor, in which case it would be a gay man or a lesbian woman, right? And
Right,
that
the
can
sex
be,
is female, male, right? That's the
Yeah.
in the medical term.
that's you were born, you have the body parts and hormones that line up with this without medical intervention. And that's why you can get some weird conditions with people who are intersex, because they have both or neither or incomplete sets of one or the other or both. What you're assigned at birth is your sex, usually, hopefully, and what you identify as is your gender. Your sex is biological, your gender is psychological.
I want Becca. Is that in reference to what you had said earlier? I don't know why. I don't know why I missed that. I'm sorry. It says I was in a relationship in high school with a girl, but she moved away, and then made me explore more male partners. That's how I discovered I was bi. However you discover, as long as it's with consenting people, is however you discover. I mean, there's no rule to say, this is the only way. That's the only way. There's no right way, but there are wrong ways.
Yeah, right? Left. Wrong? Up. I have no idea what's going on.
Next misconception if we have one, or next topic if we don't.
I mean, I've
Yes,
got
please.
like a list over here. It doesn't matter. I can do either
Yeah.
one.
Oh, gay people are flamboyant or have particular appearance.
Yes, bitch, because we're fucking fabulous, okay?
The best ones do.
No to all of you.
Thank
There
The
is-
most fun ones do.
There is no correct way
to be
or
gay.
most fun
Well-
way to be gay. There's just what's right for the person and what's not, right?
Absolutely.
Back before the transiting, I had a boyfriend who was like the shyest book nerd you'd ever find. You'd probably assume was like a COD lobby gamer. Was so fucking gay. Was 19 and had already picked out his favorite wine that he would never drink anything else in his life.
Very nice. Very nice.
So there is, just like any other group of people, there is no one thing that applies to everyone.
Mhm.
We are lots of individuals that make up this lovely rainbow.
Absolutely.
But we're all mentally ill.
Well,
Not. They're rare.
Not because we're LGBT. We're just mentally ill.
They're rare, but there are neurotypical queer people, and it's fucking weird.
it is weird as hell.
Most queer people have trauma. Trauma develops into mental illness. Also, like most of us have something vaguely wrong with our body in terms of like dopamine or serotonin regulation, which means ADHD or autism or depression or PTSD, on top of all the trauma.
So is that a yes?
Most of us are.
Most of us. Okay.
Not because we're queer.
So
Not because we're queer.
I would like to say that my view on that, a lot of people that are neurospicy are more introspective and take more time to think about themselves and realize more things about themselves than a lot of neurotypical people.
Rather than just fucking going with the flow.
Go ahead, Alice.
Yeah, like that.
Similarly to that point, I want to yes and a little bit.
Mhm.
A lot of people who are neurospicy, a lot of neurodivergent folks, don't have the capacity to mask as hard as neurotypical people do. Right? There's no.
Neurotypicals don't have to mask.
Yeah, they do. Trust me, yes, they do. The fucked up rules that neurotypical people live by even drive neurotypical people insane.
Well, I had something, but I lost it.
Makes me
Oh,
feel
it's a correlation versus causation conversation, essentially. You're
Yes.
not mentally ill because you're gay. You just happen to be gay and mentally ill.
Exactly.
And undiagnosed does not mean not existing. There's a lot more undiagnosed mental illness among non-community or allies.
And that's why I don't go to therapy. Because I'll get
And more why you need it.
Mister, I know you're being shitty because you have like that look and that specific smile on your face when you said that. But for the record, if there's anything up here that you would like to get better at dealing with, go to therapy. There's
That's what I'm
nothing
saying.
wrong
Like,
with you.
me
to go to
personally, that's
therapy.
why I don't, because they're gonna be like, okay, let's talk about. It's
Let's
a shorter
unpack
list to say
all of
what's
that.
right with you and what's wrong with you.
Mister, I think it's a good idea to go through that list.
It's short. It's like you're alive.
No, the other list.
Oh no, that's too long. I don't have that much time.
Kentucky ayahuasca trip. Look it up.
I can't even
Mm,
spell it. You're just making shit up now.
Don't fuck with ayahuasca as a replacement for therapy.
Oh,
So moving forward,
What you got?
are you moving or are you just moving us?
I'm
My turn.
moving
Okay.
the conversation.
All LGBTQ plus people are out,
Or should be.
or should be.
No, they're not.
No.
A lot of them aren't in a safe place, and a lot of them haven't figured out enough about themselves to be like, yes, I can confidently say this to another person. When it's a trans person, we have a word for them called egg. And they're kind of figuring out things, and the person they're going to be is developing inside the egg, but you got to let it crack on its own. And then you have like your baby gays who are like, I've never been, I am a man. I've never been with a man, but I know I like men. So let's figure this out, right? You don't have to be out to be queer.
And yes, Nikki, we're seeing your comments there. I meant to pull that one up.
Yes, we are all seeing the comments.
Nikki, I did hearts like twice earlier. Those were directed at you. I'm sorry if that was unclear.
Also, it is not always safe for somebody to be out, especially in the current societal environment. There's going to be, there's going to be more people that aren't out because their lives are in danger. Their mental health is in danger.
Meh.
Go ahead. Yes.
Specifically to the point of their lives being in danger. I'm trans in West Virginia, and trans panic is a legal defense for murder here. So like someone could see me at a bar and be like, oh, that looks like a woman. I'm going to go get them a drink, and then find out I'm trans and decide to kill me for it and not face consequences. Right? That's a very real threat that exists, and it does get people killed.
And yes, Nikki, you saw how good I was on live earlier. Pretty used to seeing comments, and all of us are adept at that.
Yes. We did see the comment. We don't respond to every comment, but we do see all of them.
But now the only reason I don't go with certain ones is because I don't know like the context, because like they may just like we're loud, so they disagree with something, but we're talking and I don't know the delay on some of these. So it's like, are you disagreeing with what this person's saying now or that person? So it's sometimes easier just to.
But back on topic though, yes, that is a serious defense in multiple states.
All but what?
in,
7?
in most, it's actually a lot less than that. There are 15 states in DC that have all put bans on the books. It was 7 5 years ago,
Okay.
and we've added 9 places. But that
Yay.
means there are still 35 states and 5 territories in the U.S. where it's a completely justified legal defense.
So now is that because? No, I do get and wonder about that. Is that because
Pause for just a second. Day 6. American Samoa, North Mariana Islands, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
You got me with the first 2. Thanks. I love you, my friend.
But I always wonder, is that because there's no case on such thing at the time, or is it just
no? Like trans people have been getting killed using this defense for, in some places, over a fucking century.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Right. This is tried and true case law that legislators have to overrule, and the places where it hasn't been, there hasn't been enough legislators who said, "All right, maybe we shouldn't kill trans people."
Gotcha. So legislators need to get ahead of it.
Yeah.
Introduce it already and not let it have to be a case that's got to go to Supreme Court and all that stuff.
Like the problem is that it doesn't go to Supreme Court, right?
Right.
It goes to a state court. The state court goes, "Oh, this is a legal defense in our books. Cool, you're not guilty. Get out of here."
Right. What Alice is talking about is new legislation needs to come into place, needs to get passed by House, Senate, and the governor to then give protections, taking away that defense, and then the Supreme Court, the state court, actually, the state Supreme Court, to more accurate term, will be like, well, the law is the law. And so now the next one that comes across, they'd be like, nope, throw the book at them. It was a hate crime.
Yeah.
So if you really want this, like, for example, Nikki Mouse, you're in Georgia. I will bet my dollar to donut that they're a state that allows the panic defense.
Mm-hmm.
So call your representative, say, hey, put some legislation in for protecting our gay and trans communities from the panic defense. Remove this. I want this as your constituent. This is what I want. Then elect ones that do, Nick.
The problem that I have is both of my representatives at the state Senate level are extremely transphobic. Just gonna have to replace one of them eventually.
Exactly. See, okay. I have been chastised many times in my life for being forever the optimist because I refuse to give up on hope. Now, even in Alice's situation where they are facing state representatives that are transphobes, what was their response? Gotta elect new ones. If you sit there and be like, well, they just don't do their jobs. No, that's not the answer. Elect new ones. If you can't find one, be one. I have been an elected official. It is not that difficult. If you have a clean enough record where you're not, a whole bunch of dirt to be thrown at you, step up, use your voice, get on the platform. You can start at PCO, which is the local level, which is where I started. And in 2 year time, you can run for state Senate and have a voice and have a platform and have 1,000 people backing you.
I do want to say that I am not necessarily backing the start small and work up approach when it's these people want you dead, right?
I understand.
You don't have time to build up. But there are groups that look at it like Run for Something specifically targets progressive Democrats, and like trans protection, trans rights, and getting rid of trans panic is one of the issues that they support. And then you get the LGBTQ Victory Fund, which same thing, right? You just find the groups that can support you, and they'll help with volunteers. Every county in the country has X county Republicans and X county Democrats as organizations, and they're usually pretty consistent. The Republicans say, hey, trans people should die, and the Democrats say, hey, we should protect trans people.
Correct.
So, yeah, Nikki, real quick, because I think you said, MTG. So you're in Georgia.
Yeah.
In
means
2020,
they're-
Georgia proved how much of an impact they can have. So now's the time to be telling all of your people that don't normally vote, go vote.
And exactly, Nikki, you say you can't be in politics because your mouth is too big. No, that's exactly where we need you, because your mouth is big. It is only your history where the opposition can throw dirt at you, whereas the biggest issue. After that, it's funding. But the reason I said start small, because if you can create a voice within your local platform, in your local precinct committee meetings, so that the precinct committee officers know who you are, when you step up for their recommendation for another level, they know who you are and what you're about, and then you can actually influence change. Go ahead, Alice.
Again, precinct committee doesn't exist everywhere.
You just said in every county there are ex-Republicans and ex-Democrats. In every county, the counties are districted by precincts, regardless of affiliation. This is for the census. And in those districts, you can't, or in those precincts, you have party representation. This isn't a representation of the entire neighborhood, just the Democrats in your neighborhood, for example. I was only PCO for Democrats. There was a PCO in my precinct, the exact same precinct, for Republicans. And I can only imagine that each county within America is run at least close to similar because of accurate representation. Go ahead.
There are 71 precincts in the county I live in. None of them has a committee. They have a group of people who work for like 3 months before the census. The census happens, and then they have a separate group of like 10 people that work for the elections.
So there's no so who runs the county Democrats, for example, in that county?
It's a nonprofit organization. It's
all
not, yeah, here at least, yeah. There's no precinct Democrats, no precinct Republicans here. It's just also, to be fair, where I live is kind of smaller. Precincts have like 1,000 people maybe in them.
Right.
So precincts don't, like the precinct committees you're talking about don't exist everywhere. But you can still find ex-county Democrats, ex-county Republicans. And here, those are all nonprofits.
They're all, even across the board, they're still going to be nonprofits because the tax structure makes it more feasible for them to be so, because that way they don't get taxed out to oblivion. This is why
I run a nonprofit. I get that.
Right. And they take donations, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So running one, you know that like any organization can be one, it has to follow the religious, beneficiary, or in this case, political criteria.
Wait, you guys, I have someone real quick.
Go ahead.
Did you know that male seahorses carry the babies?
Yes. Did you know that trans dads who've given birth before hormones would have made it infeasible for them are called seahorse dads?
That's cool as fuck.
Awesome.
I'm down for that.
I am dating one.
Dad, happy belated Father's Day for me, please.
That's awesome. So
thank you.
Let's hop on the identity train. So I did a little bit of research. You know, I utilized like some Googling, some research on that, use the AI and all that stuff. And stopped counting at 180 different identities that fall under the LGBT. 180. Some of them are very nuanced. Don't get me wrong, but that is insane. Not in a bad way, but that's like, it blows my mind.
It is not easy to fathom.
I don't think we should need so many, but having those labels is good because we have this cis heteronormative society where like everyone who's not a label is assumed to be cis and straight.
Joom.
But like it also gets into the inclusion of like trans masculine, trans femme, trans feminine, trans neutral, You know, so it's
Yeah,
like
like-
all the individual words as well. But
Like if you've noticed, I have never called myself trans feminine. I've always said trans femme.
I really like that there's so many, because that means as a whole, we are learning more about ourselves and each other to be able to compile these different titles and labels for ourselves. And I think it's beautiful that we're putting the work in as humans to figure ourselves out.
So
Advanced as technology is.
So when I say I don't think we need that many, it's not like, oh, there are too many labels. The purpose of a label, like in the context of the society that we live in, is so that we have something to guide us or to explain what we are when we meet resistance, right? I don't think that resistance should be there. Someone should just be able to go, oh, I'm kind of meh, but this is what I think would make me feel at home in my body. So doctor, give me medicine, or give me approval for a surgery, right? Yeah. I don't think that resistance should be there. Asterisk, let kids non-surgically transition.
But see, and I also, to me personally, and like I always kind of put a little asterisk to it too, that I am not the LGBT community, but don't do it again. The Q covers like all of them that aren't listed in like the major LGBT, and I feel like that's, so when I put stuff, usually I do the LGBTQ plus, because I feel like that Q intercepts all of those things after those main categories.
So that's kind of the reason I just say queer instead of like LGBTQIA2S plus. Like, I just say queer because queer is anything that isn't cis and straight, right?
I love it.
And like that leaves room for new labels to be created under the same group, rather than being like, all right, well, those labels are too new to be included in the big acronym, so you can be gay but less gay than us, right? If you just say queer, everyone who's not cis and het is queer.
I also love that word was a slur in the 90s, and now it's been taken back again.
Like, it wasn't a slur originally.
Right. Thank you. Because I was going to say, I used to know this old lady that used that word like all the time when trying to say that something was just different.
Yeah.
Like smell this milk, it's queer.
Yeah. Like queer just used to mean not the usual. Right. And that there's a reason we have so many labels for gay things and one label for straight, right? So like that's what it meant, and then it got like taken in by the community, and then phobes decided to make it a slur and started killing people over it. And then once it wasn't legal to kill people over it anymore, the community started reclaiming the slur.
And it's like the pink triangle thing we talked about earlier. In the 60s, it got reclaimed. I mean, it went through being an identifier for, I'm pretty sure it was just for gay men in Nazi Germany. But, then it became, well, we're not going to be associated with that. That's our power. It was ours first. So we're taking it back.
I want to just throw in the context that it was specifically the gay men who were determined to be able to work well enough to be let to live in the camps instead of executed.
Fair. Yeah. That context is absolutely important. I've seen a statistic, and it's such a wide variety. It said somewhere between 5,000 and 15,000, but there's no estimation to how many died. It's like that was just like the estimations are between 5,000 and 15,000 that were sent to camps under the guise of the pink triangle, but there's no telling how many died in the camps and how many died without that label.
And the homosexual men who were in the camps didn't get let out because it was still legally a crime.
Yep. And so they served, they had to be forced into the camps, and then
In my face.
after they got out, and then they had to go straight to a prison. So, like, I mean, some of them never saw the light of day after they were taken.
Some of them went to prison. Some of them were just kept in the camps.
I totally get what y'all say about my face says everything I'm thinking, because my face was just like the yuckiest face ever.
But I like to see that, and I made a TikTok like last week sometime, and it would be the greatest prank just for like a month, maybe next Pride Month, or even on October 11th, National Coming Out Day. Let's just include the straight people. Just rope them into the LGBT acronym just for a little bit, just to watch.
All right, we gotta talk about this then.
I'm ready.
All right. So
I'm ready for
there's
this, 'cause I'm like,
there's a group of shitty straight people who have tried to get themselves included into the community by calling themselves super straights. You know what a super straight is? It's a man who will not date a trans woman.
Oh.
Because she's trans.
Oh, that's so no, you can't be in the community. It's just for regular straights. But I would just love to watch them implode.
I want to see, like, it probably won't ever happen, but I want to see like a coordinated effort to flip that. And like the coming out day is, okay, you can come out as straight today, but only today.
You better hide that shit the rest of the year.
Everyone else, if you don't come out as straight today, welcome to the family. You're queer now. Come on.
I am so down for it. Because you know how just protesting everything homophobes are,
mm-hmm.
and transphobic people are. Like, so as soon as you tell them welcome, the recruitment has decided, we're going to embrace the straight community as a part of it. I would just love to watch some of these dumb rednecks run around. I ain't straight either.
Oh, I ain't using no goddamn pronouns. That crowd.
Hold on. Wait, what's that right there? Is that one of them gay rainbows? You know what? I tell you what, I'm proud to be straight. Don't come near me with no pecker. I can't believe I just did that on live.
So fantastic. So fantastic.
Your hillbilly transphobe accent saying pecker is now on the internet.
Pecker.
You should turn that into a soundbite that can be used on Clapper.
Oh man. I got her. I'll put this shit right into my Premiere Pro. I gotcha. Yes, that's gonna be a new ring. That's gonna be a new sound going everywhere. And all the Rainbow Mafia is gonna be using that. I ain't getting you no pecker. But
all right, moving on.
It blows my mind, like, and I always feel a lot of it is projection.
What's heteroflexible?
That means,
oh, for fuck's sake.
So heteroflexible is just bisexual, but you lean like your opposite gender, right?
No, heteroflexible is you're bisexual, but you don't want to be part of the community. So you're going to use a different word instead of just being like, hey, I'm bisexual.
I'm heteroflexible. I date women most of the time. Every now and then you get me drunk, I'll suck a dick. Whatever.
or like the I'm definitely straight guys, but like if Ryan Reynolds propositioned me, I'm gonna take the wedding ring off. That kind of guy.
Well, I mean, everybody would.
Well, yeah, it's Ryan fucking Reynolds.
That's definitely old.
Ew.
Ew.
That's
Mister, I want you to know that was directly into the mic.
Yeah, you get a little ASMR there.
You're not good.
All in those ears too.
Like when you wake up and you hear a cat puking. Yeah, that's one of those sounds, huh? Becca, who made this?
I'm not blushing, sadly, Becca. My kiddo is messaging with me, and because it's a relationship I really need to put a lot of focus on, I need to step away.
Rock and roll, family first.
Okay. Love you all.
Bye, Papa.
Bye, Pappy.
And then there were 3.
And then there were 3. So, but like I said, I mean, I know that was just always my view of
Butch.
it.
I love Butch.
Butch.
That's a good one.
So is that derogatory though?
All right,
used
all
to
right,
be,
Mr.
But
Mr.
if you claim
Mr.
it, you claim it.
Depends on the context.
Yeah.
If you have some real big, strong woman who's like, I identify as butch, and I'm going to go find some cute little lesbian who fawns over butch women, then no, that's not derogatory. If you have some straight dude come up and go, oh, you're too manly, no one's going to like you because you're too butch, then that's derogatory.
Okay, gotcha. It is all context.
Almost all of the things are fucking context, and people that can't read context, bless your hearts. I'm one of them. Hi.
I'm gonna ask.
Hello, as
like,
the autistic person in the room. Hello.
Real life.
Shh.
Are you ready
What?
for the question?
Oh God. Okay. What?
So, and this started as a genuine question many, many years ago before I understood anything about the LGBT community. So, feminine presenting cis women that are lesbian that want to date super butchy lesbians and always use a strap on. Are they still lesbians?
Why wouldn't they be?
Well,
what part of I want to have sex with a woman and I'm a woman makes them not a lesbian?
But like,
if you're about to bring up the strap, you're gonna tell me you've never used a toy in the bedroom?
No. What I'm saying is, and this was like, is way before I understood anything about it. That was my first question. Kind of like when I was like 10, going, "Well, why are women so bitchy on their periods? They got something inside of them. They should be happy." You know, those kind of stupid fucking thoughts. But I always, what did I say?
Just making sure everybody
tampons,
understood the
sorry.
inside reference.
Yeah, but for a long time, I really wondered that. I was like, because I genuinely didn't understand the concept of a trans person either. You know, it's something that I'd never been really seen or been around or known myself. So like that whole thing was like, okay, they want somebody that looks like a man, has all the parts of a male, you know,
and isn't a male. Hi.
It just always confused me.
I wanted that in my life.
So just so we're clear, as my weird ass thought process used to be, they are perfectly valid identifying as a lesbian.
Yeah, like it's just, they use a toy when they have sex. Cool. They probably have better sex for it.
Oh, absolutely. Toys always improve things.
If the person who's using the toy knows what they're doing, yes.
I don't know where I would be without DeWand.
True, but
DeWand is the name of the wand.
I assumed
DeWand. Yeah, couldn't think of anything better.
I don't know. Strap-ons have anyways, my access to amazing strap-ons and harnesses. You guys make sure that you have a good harness. Y'all have to have a good harness. Don't rely on them little stretchy bands that come on the one in the generic cheap box. That's not going to be a good experience.
Okay, so see, now I'm asking like the genuine, like teenage me questions that I had that nobody could answer.
Oh, and then I learned that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about lesbian sex and toys.
So
it's a great time. It's good to think about.
Is it any kind of phobic to have a preference?
All right. Here we go.
Don't say it's all in context.
You know it is.
Everything is.
We'll break down the context.
You can have a genital preference. You can be like, hey, I'm not really looking for someone with a penis, right?
Right.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. No one should be forced to interact with genitals they don't want to interact with.
Right.
If you go, I am never going to date a trans person because I don't like the idea of they might have a penis, that's transphobic. Right? So the context as to whether or not a specific person is transphobic is if they go, I'm never going to date a trans woman because she might have a penis, even if that precludes them from dating like post-op trans women who don't have a penis.
Fair.
Right. At that point, it's transphobic. At the point where you're just going, I you know what? I don't really want a vagina. I don't want to deal with that. Then that's just a preference. Also, you don't need to advertise your preferences unless you're like pursuing something romantically with someone and be like, hey, things are getting a little warm between us. We should talk about what's in each other's pants so we make sure
roll
we
of dimes in your pocket.
It's a roll of quarters recently. Fuck.
There we go.
Let's go to the arcade.
The reason I asked is because I saw the term on this big giant list, lipstick lesbian. And lipstick lesbians, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, that's two femme-presenting women that are together and they prefer femme-presenting women.
Damn it,
right?
my nipples are hard.
If I'm not mistaken, is that lipstick lesbian?
You are correct.
Okay.
Yes, you're right.
So, pornographically, that's my preference. Like, is that phobic at all? Because it's not malicious.
Again, context. You can watch a video. You can go, I am a straight man attracted to women, and that's two hot women having a great time together. I would like to watch that, and that's fine. But if you start treating lesbians like that's the only thing about them, like that they're a lesbian or that they fit this niche of porn you like to watch, then you get into lesbophobic.
I didn't even know that was a word.
Yeah, me too. That kind of made
It
my
rolled.
brain shift.
It rolled off the tongue so smoothly.
So if you can treat them like they're actually fucking people, then it's not phobic to be like, hey, I like watching things. For example, while I was figuring things out, I really liked watching porn with trans women in it. Surprise, surprise.
Craigslist ad. Could I just say that I love this term here, power dyke?
That's
Like,
one you gotta be careful with.
Right, but like I just feel like if somebody introduced me to, as, you know, and they're lesbian, they introduce me, I'm, you know, oh, you're lesbian. No, I'm a power dyke. I'm like, oh shit, I have so much more respect for you now. Like, that's just I'm a world champion warrior. That's what they're saying.
That makes me think I'm so, like, I don't know if I'm wrong for this, but it really just makes me think of Matilda's aunt. I don't know what her preference is. If she was,
would Miss Trunchbull be considered a power dyke?
And like,
I gotta figure out what this is.
She was.
No, it's a lesbian with authority or power over a group of other lesbians.
Huh.
That. So it's like a dom position or a harem position.
not in like a sexual power exchange sort of way, but like if they were, say, like they were the owner of a business and everyone who worked there was a lesbian, that kind of shit.
That's interesting. See, all right.
Let's see. These are just fun because some of them, like, okay, did like the AI just make this shit up?
Okay, what is gender apathetic? Apathetic.
Okay, so gender apathetic means that you don't actually like identify or care about your own gender. Like I specifically am agender, which is different because I care about my answer, and my answer is no, thank you. Apathetic, you just don't give a shit. Like you looked for your answer, and your answer was a resounding meh, and that was it.
Huh.
I like Maverick too.
Maverick? I don't actually know that one. Let me look it up.
Marvereque. I did look it up to make sure it was a real one, and it sounds like it's agender. Just a different word.
See, I swear we all learn something every month about ourselves and each other, and that's
what this is for. Even the 4 folks that are watching right now, I mean, they may hear something that matters to them, resonates with them.
We're learning from y'all. Dem boy, dem girl.
What is this one?
Demi boy, demi girl.
A bear.
Maverick is a flavor of non-binary.
Okay.
Just in what case? Like, what's the distinguishing?
I just looked it up and couldn't find anything that made it different from non-binary. It's just a different word and a different flag.
Can I just say, in the most nice,
We can't do that.
compassionate, not trying to be an asshole way, we are definitely in a look at me generation.
All right, so every fucking generation is a look at me generation. It's just what they use to get
different.
that attention.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But it's it seems like unfortunately that the gender and sexuality has
All
become.
right, I'm jumping in. I'm jumping in. Why is that unfortunate?
No, I mean I'm saying like because some people do it just for the attention and the trend to get attention.
That's
All right.
this.
But they're not that person.
First off, be very careful with that.
Mhm.
You say a trans person's trans because they want attention. It's kind of transphobic thing to say.
No. I'm saying
Homophobic
people
for
in
gay
general.
people.
You know what I mean?
So let them have the attention.
I do
if
absolutely.
They're going out of their
like
way to like get attention. They probably need it more than giving them that attention is going to hurt you. So
and it's more or less one of those if it's zero harm.
yeah. That being said, if every single person on the planet sat down and took up the time to like figure out their gender identity and their sexuality down to the nuance, we would have billions of labels because everyone's different and like
a complete spectrum.
Yeah, like every man, for example, doesn't experience masculinity or manhood in the same ways. So
my brain's still stuck on the last two things that we said mean the same thing. And why did we make another thing? That's bothering me.
It's tangentially related to another family of gender identities that I'm unfamiliar with, so I don't want to comment on that. It's just
okay.
It's another
type
of
something
non-binary.
Different. Like a spice or a vegetable tastes different if it's grown in a different atmosphere or
different ass. Yes.
Here's another interesting one. A chapstick lesbian.
What?
A chapstick lesbian is not quite a lipstick lesbian, but not quite a butch either. They're strong, but their lips are soft as down pillows. So, like, that's kind of they don't care how they dress. They dress however they feel that day. It's kind of getting to the nuance of identity, presentation, orientation, like the blend of all those. What's that else?
I went to read that family of genders. Maverick is specifically a poragender, and a poragender just means a gender that exists outside of the space between male and female, or masculine and feminine. So if you say man, woman, and anything in between, and a poragender would be outside of that range.
Okay.
But we don't talk about a gender binary here. We talk about a gender spectrum, and that model doesn't work inside a spectrum.
Okay. Count for it.
Oh, I'm really trying.
Androgyny, that's someone that just presents feminine, right?
That's someone who has either no features that distinguish male or female or has features of both.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that wrong. Yeah.
Or man or woman, not male or female. Sorry.
I'm stuck in my thoughts. So
scoliosexual?
Yeah,
What
I think
is
I get
that?
it.
There's so many. Like
scoliosexual?
Is that like something about spines? Oh no, they're specifically attracted to people who are transgender or non-binary.
Are we saying it right?
So they can't be. Well, they can be bisexual, but they couldn't be considered pansexual because they're not.
Because it's not everybody. It's
right because they don't want cis men or women.
Right.
They want everything in between.
Well,
holy labels.
And like with the abundance of labels that we have, like really just the thing is to go, hey, how do you identify? And then just respect the answer the person gives you rather than being expected to know every single one of these. Yes. And you can be like, oh, I don't know what that word means. Would you explain that?
Mm-hmm.
That's
been something fun we've been doing with
the
beard.
So yeah, I don't know if I've sent some pictures to the groups and stuff like that. I've enjoyed the fuck out of it.
It's been good education
because it's shown me a difference though in like the reality and the internet.
Where is it?
nobody's had anything out of the way to say. Nobody's acted like an asshole. Maybe it's because they're in public, but nobody's like stiffed me on my tip because of it. You know, they've asked questions. They've, tried to learn what's the beard about and all that stuff. So
I would like to chime in. It's primarily because you're a man with a beard.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they were shitty to you, you look like you'd probably kick their ass.
I mean, I'm not tiny by any means.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get that too, but it's like the ones that are making me happiest about it are the ones that are asking me, or because some of them is like, if you know, and if you don't, you just be like, oh, your beard looks cool.
Yeah.
It's because the ones that know are like, I really love your beard, and are you doing that for pride? And I'm
So like
absolutely.
I love this specific thing about your appearance that you put effort into is queer code for talking to each other. He's like, I see you being performatively queer and I respect it. I enjoy this. I am also queer is usually the implication there.
Mhm.
Right. But it's absolutely that representation.
I've met so many people because of my hair.
Not gonna lie though, I like it because I do get a lot of compliments on my beard. Just like, oh, your beard looks nice. Oh, no, thank you. I've been hit on 3 times this month alone. And my whole waiting career, I've got asked my number like once, and like this month alone, 3 different women. So,
all right, we got a question from Becca. I'm not sure what's being asked here. Does what include furries?
Which one were we talking about a second ago? The scoliosexual, maybe?
Enjoy your food, love. I bet you're not here anymore.
Yeah, they're going out and getting us Wendy's.
Yeah, fresh time.
A faux.
Oh, you can't. Oh, can you have? Do they have vanilla frosty still right now?
They do, but I'm also allergic to lactose, so like it'll make me sick anyway.
Moo. That's awful.
If the question was, does scoliosexual, like, not any more than like being scoliosexual would include a drag queen or king who is cis outside of the character.
Is there a word for people? Well, I know like there's a fucked up terminology, but like, is there a person that's like attracted to furries? Like,
I'm
specifically
sure
the persona.
Sexuality that's attracted to furries.
Because it wouldn't be like zoophiles. That's actual animals.
Bitch.
I think it falls under xenophilia. And xenophilia is just an attraction to anything that is outside of standard definition.
That's crazy. Like, all this stuff is so wild. Like, it's like the best. Like, I'm learning so much.
Did I see sporty something down there? Do we have
lesbian?
fucking Sporty Spice or whatever?
Sporty Femme. So yeah, Sporty Spice. Yeah, I don't even have to look that one up. Sporty Spice.
I would technically fall under Sporty Femme because I have dumbbells at my desk.
There you go. See, welcome to the club, Sporty Spice. I gotta know what a stone butch is, and I'm done with the terms.
Kitty says you can make your own frosty. There's recipe on the interwebs. It's really good.
Just use almond milk or almond juice.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I'm also not much of an ice cream person.
Okay.
Obviously not.
This is a valid term. Okay. I mean, they're all valid terms unless they're fucking homophobic and somehow.
Stone
butch is a lesbian who displays female butchness or traditional masculinity, and does not allow their genitals to be touched during sexual activity.
Okay.
Cool. There's so many. I could write an article on each of these and never run out of content for the year.
There you go. Just don't use the AI to write it for you because that'll come out homophobic real fast.
Right.
I guess you do have.
I will say though, like the AI is fairly inclusive. I think it's accidentally homophobic when it talks, but
no.
I don't think
your sample set is small.
Okay, so
You're
there's
right. You're right.
oh, unicorns on the list.
A unicorn, absolutely.
Now there's woman spelled WOMXN. What's that? Look that up, somebody. What is that?
Is that the shitty one?
Huh. Okay, so that's just like the non-binary term for woman, I think. Maybe it's what I'm kind of getting. It says signal of the inclusion of those who've been traditionally excluded from white feminist discourse, like black women, women of color, and trans women.
So what I'm looking at here is from Women with an X, Women's Success Center, and it's apparently a word to denote that there are multiple gender identities, but neither is more important. So woman would be a non-binary woman, but not one more than the other.
Huh. Okay.
Cool.
That's
There's so many.
I dig it.
don't know.
STEM.
STEM, science, technology, engineering, and
That's what
mathematics.
I thought of too. Oh, it's a stud femme, a soft butch, lesbian who exhibits some stereotypical butch traits without fitting that masculine stereotype associated with butch lesbians. A STEM.
I like stems and flowers.
Jen, your sapphic is showing.
What's that mean?
That means you're my lesbian girlfriend.
Your attraction to women is showing.
Oh,
It means you're my lesbian girlfriend. All that means.
I started the live by playing with my own tits today. I was like, whoa, what's wrong with me?
I don't know how I got my foot in the door before it closed, but I'm in there.
It's not closed. It's just a doggy door, and you're a dog.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, God.
It's got a doggy door on it.
So I
You
did
climb
learn
through it.
while doing these trivia things and helping her with that I
That's
learned about
awesome.
something called Cooper's Donuts. So it took place 10 years before the Stonewall riots.
I don't know anything about it.
So
This is a kind of a good,
it's a claim, honestly, because people have questioned like the validity of it. You know, some of the people that owned it were like, we don't remember that happening. But it also depends on how much of an ally they are towards the community. But yeah, Cooper's Donuts. But apparently there was a riot there because I think it was
one of the first.
2 trans women, a gay man, and a streetwalker were arrested for pretty much existing, and it went all to shit real quick.
And tell them the best part. Do I get to?
Yeah.
They started throwing donuts
Oh yeah.
in their coffee at the cops until the cops retreated.
I have never seen cops run from coffee and donuts.
I know.
See, how is that not more monumental? But I think it's because of the lack of actual evidence as far as like journalist reports, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Stonewall had photography, it had people with firsthand accounts, it had everything to be a legitimate thing.
I like just a cursory like Google search. I'm not finding anything that like is solid that it happened. I'm just finding a bunch of people talking about being told the story that it happened.
Right.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no concrete proof, but apparently in like 2003, one of the people that was there discussed it. But once again, it could have been, well, no, they didn't do it first. We did it first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could be one of those things. But I did learn that on a factual basis that is proven, Chicago is the birthplace of pride parades, not New York.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
One day ahead.
Yep, just one day. If I can beat them by a day. Oh. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's a legend. So like, is it is it possible? Sure. I mean, it's the 50s.
We don't have proof it didn't happen, and that's what the people telling the story are banking on.
Right. Yeah. It's religion.
Basically.
It's the gay Bible. There we go. We have a gay Bible story right now. Cooper's Donuts. There were witnesses. It happened, but nobody can remember who. Nobody talked about it. It didn't make the news, but it happened.
Moses came down from the hill and spread the good word. Throw donuts at cops.
But I mean, if you were those cops, would you have called the news? And if you were the people throwing donuts, would you? Especially
yeah.
in that
If the police were harassing us because it was illegal to be queer and we were publicly queer, no, that would get us killed.
Yeah.
And
But
if I was
see-
the police, would I go, oh, some of those, probably a slur, I'm not actually going to say it, threw donuts at me at a coffee shop? Also no.
Right? Yeah, as a cop, like I wasn't going to eat donuts.
Can you
I wonder
imagine?
how many
though?
responded just because it's at the donut shop. Might as well.
They had fucking security footage back then, darn it.
But
great.
like I said, as I did more research in it earlier, I mean, it sounds like a really cool story. One of those kind of got swept under the rugs until the right place at the right time kind of thing happened. Which does happen in a lot of cases. Some people do something and then it doesn't matter until someone else that's more prominent does it, or a place that's more prominent does it. But Cooper's Donuts was also the name of most donut places in LA back then, whether they were called Cooper's Donuts or not. So even the location is questioned because they had so many of them. People, it didn't matter if it was Tony's Donut Shop next door. Everywhere was Cooper's. You just had to specify what street you were on.
It's interesting.
So yeah. So we could do this one. We do this one all the time. Off topic, new chest. Oh, chest tattoo. Awesome. Back I saw him getting a new chest and I was like, oh, that's cool. So yeah, so the last one is just as important, I feel, to help with the future of the LGBT community. Allies, advocates, and accessories. Or is that the word? I can't ever remember the fucking word. Accomplices. There we go.
Accomplices.
Accessories is what you wear.
I mean, I can wear you while I go commit gay crimes. Sure.
So I could be an accessory. Hell yeah. But we've kind of reiterated this a million times. Allies kind of have the benefit. They have the privilege, especially ones that look like I do.
If you're an ally, that means you're not in the crosshairs.
Right. So, I'm doing everything I fucking can to put myself in the crosshairs. So,
except for taking it in the butt.
But
by man.
Fair. Or by woman. I'm not taking a butt by a woman either.
Is this...
The fun button's back there. I've just never pressed it. And I'm scared to. Okay. My whole life I changed. I
think you've drank too much Red Bull and you might not want to.
But having that privilege, and I love that word because it triggers so many people. But having that privilege is important. When we go to New York, guess who, if they really wanted to, could go fuck with these Proud Boys and just stand with them and nobody'd ever know. Which I will absolutely be spending some time heckling those fuckers just to have fun. So hopefully I'll make some TikTok news. That'll be great. But it's having that benefit of I could walk past them anyway and wouldn't think twice about it. Especially if I'm on the sidewalk instead of the street, it's going to look like I'm trying to get to wherever the hell I'm going. I'm not stopping for the parade and all that stuff. But that's where if I could get enough of them to fight with me and argue with me, they're not fighting and arguing with the people that are out there trying to express themselves.
And you can actually educate them.
Right.
You're not going to educate a Proud Boy.
Some of them don't want to be educated, though, unfortunately. That's maybe so, but there are still some that may. Some may just be doing it because their friends are there and they told them to come with. So
So Becca just went pegged count, and I don't know what's being asked there either.
we were talking about me taking in the butt.
Yeah.
I've never been pegged. Have you ever pegged anybody? No. Alice?
Before transition, I was pansexual. I absolutely fucked people, but I wasn't a woman using a toy, so I wasn't pegging anybody.
But did you ever use the toy to do it?
No, I don't need the toy. I have the equipment organic.
But maybe they wanted the toy. I don't know. Just asking.
Ooh, it's thundering. The floor's just shook.
I have never. I've used like trainer toys to help work people up to it.
Okay.
I've never done. The main course has always been organic.
Gotcha. Okay. So we're gonna say 0 all around. So judges' scorecards say 0.
Alas.
But I don't know, like in a legitimate way, we've talked about voting, we've talked about educating people, support people that are in pride. If you're chaotic and just want to be an asshole because it's fun to be an asshole to people, go be an asshole to the people that are trying to threaten others with violence. Like go do those things. I mean, it's more than just turning your Facebook profile rainbow for a week or a month. And they're going, I supported the LGBT.
So Mr. told me this little story that he read on the interwebs while we were doing some research earlier about Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor Swift had a good friend ask her how she would feel and what she would do if she had a queer kid. And that made her realize that she herself wasn't being loud enough on her standpoint. And
she essentially ran down to she felt like a shitty ally because if you have to ask, then you don't know. And I'm not letting you know. If someone ever has to ask me, they've got to be just stupid.
If someone has to ask you, you have done something wrong to not convey that to them. Not them being stupid is also kind of ableist to call people.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think she's dating a Nazi. I'm pretty sure she's not. She's pretty vocal about being
not a Nazi. I think just racist.
Yeah, not so bad.
and you guys, please laugh, my dearest. Gosh, don't judge. I know you're guilty by association, but you can't judge a person by who they're with.
But if you came out,
you absolutely fucking can.
If you were a Nazi and transphobic person, I think it would be easy for one of us to end this relationship.
Oh,
so like that exactly.
So right? Choosing to be there is supporting me and being that person.
Exactly. Right. If the person like this isn't, I know this person, like we're acquaintances over there, like this is someone that you're close to, and like if you're dating or whatever, you're like you've established there's this like dedicated relationship there. So them being that thing isn't a deal breaker for you.
Right. Because I know transphobic people. I don't associate with them anymore, but I know them. Like they're not a reflection of who I am.
Well, I'm sorry, you guys have been with a lot of shitty people.
Oh, it's okay.
So,
but it doesn't make now. See, in that case, though, that's a whole different exception to the rule. Though that was one of those couldn't leave situations, so you don't have a choice but to embrace some of those things. Like not embrace the things they're doing, but being like, yeah, it's just a part of who they are anyway. Trying to get to tomorrow.
I need to amend my correction to Lav. Apparently, Maddie Healy, who was the person that she was dating, is being called a Nazi because he did the Nazi salute in public on purpose. So, like, if someone shows you they're a thing, believe them. So apparently he was a Nazi. Unfortunately.
Didn't they just break up though? Like right after that?
Yeah, like right after that.
Oh yeah, she was like, "Nah, fuck you, dude. I'm out. You can't do that shit." She's like, "I'm out here being all ally and LGBT people, trans people matter. Fuck out of here." Like little fuzzies on your feet.
All right.
Mm.
We got like 12 minutes. So do we have another topic to get to?
No, it's just about
We
being an
covered
ally and stuff like that, and
All right.
doing the part.
All right. You got to do the boring shit. No, go vote. Go harass your representatives. Make sure they know that they're assholes if they're passing transphobic or anti-LGBT shit. And the exciting stuff is carry a weapon. Be ready to cause a problem to protect your friends and family
Be
in the queer
absolutely
community.
ready to protect yourself.
And like we don't have time for like a diatribe into like full on leftist theory right now, but if someone's targeting queer and trans people, they're going to target any other group that doesn't match every single one of their demographics eventually.
Absolutely.
So shut that shit down now. It shouldn't necessarily take saying that you'll be on the chopping block eventually, but if that helps motivate you to be an ally, then be an ally, right?
Because after they come through all the letters and then all the colors, guess what? You supported them, so you're next too.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you can push back before it becomes a problem.
And like we've got trans people, myself included, being like, hey, maybe we should exist. And we got people on the other side saying throw them in camps and lock away the keys. So like don't hesitate to pick a side when one side's saying genocide and the other side's saying, hey, don't genocide us.
Right. And it's like, and not even beyond that though, even if some people don't want to pick a side because of the gender and the LGBT issues, vote against the side the Nazis vote for. Like that's kind of all that comes down to. If you see the Nazis and the Klan supporting a certain person or a certain side of the politics, don't support those people.
And if you see a certain politician supporting the Klan or the racist or the Nazi, don't support that politician. It goes in both directions.
Gotcha. But, you know, there's two things I've learned. Holy shit, we're in big trouble. You know what we have not said this whole time?
We've been so busy practicing it that we didn't say it.
Make sure you communicate, guys and gals. Not better than your pals.
If you're going to be, I like that one. If you're going to be an ally, communicate that you're an ally. Mm-hmm. Communicate not only that you're safe right now, but you'll put out the effort to make spaces safe that you're in.
In the event that things end up in a worst case scenario and it's 1942 all over again, be absolutely prepared to be the resistance. It's you know, be prepared. Like, you don't have
the early 30s.
Huh?
Queer and trans people were the early 30s.
Oh, well, the early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
But all the way through, you know, like you've got to be prepared to be that resistance, to be,
like I said, carry a weapon. Be prepared to be an ally in the ways that matter.
Absolutely. Well, I had fun tonight.
Yeah.
Any big closing thoughts there?
Big closing thoughts. Don't be a piece of shit. If you're going to be an ally all the time, not during Pride. Not just during Pride. And
all the other 11 months you be an ally, let Pride just fuck off.
And if you see a person in a position of power, like a cop or a politician, harassing queer people because they're queer, harass that person in a position of power. Don't let them be comfortable doing it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I've got a new favorite video. If you guys get a chance, find the Brooklyn woman harassing the cops.
Oh gosh, I've heard him listening to it like
I don't know.
Times just
If I could
today.
ever be dominated, it would have to be by a woman that has that accent. Because they don't. I was reading
That
the
would be
comments
fun.
on it, and it was like people were like, no, this is the politest way this
Oh, I'd like to
this
see
woman
that.
could have said. It was like just it was the New York way to say, come on, get out of the way. We're trying to do things. So yeah, if you get a chance to check that out, I'm sure I'll scroll across it again and I'll add it in the group chat.
Yeah, I was about to say, drop a link in the group chat.
But no, any closing thoughts left?
All of my thoughts were closing thoughts.
Especially the ones about titties.
So I love and appreciate you all, and you can be a better person every day. Support each other, love each other, all that good hippy dippy shit.
Or at the very least, don't be in the way of other people being themselves.
Bingo. I like that too. A little reminder, Pride trivia on Clapper. Thursday starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I would love to see you all there. I do have some fun prizes. So
yeah, that's gonna be great.
If I lunch on time on Thursday, I might be able to pop in for a little bit.
I would absolutely adore seeing everybody there.
I'll probably just hook up the phone in the car and record the screen thing. I got you. I'll make sure we get seen.
It's gonna be a great time.
Absolutely.
The Pride Parade on Clapper. Oh, and then New York City this weekend.
Mm-hmm. If anybody's near the New York City Pride, come see us. We'll be up there. So I'm excited.
And locally, I should have started with all of this. Locally, there's some new Juniper Gen vloggers and Night Secrets in Hickory and in Night Secrets in Boone. So go check them out.
So one thing I've thought about it in a motivational way my whole time I've been really like into motivational speeches for like the past 5 or 6 years, and in this context, no matter what kind of person you are, even if you were the absolute worst of the worst, shitty, 100% bad human, if you improve and become a better person 1% every single day, you'd be a wonderful person in 100 days. Mm-hmm. It just takes a little bit at a time. And all these things, homophobia, racism, transphobia, sexism, all these things are learned.
And can be unlearned.
Exactly. You can't be born racist. You can be born gay, but you can't be born racist. So run with that. And next week, I don't know what I have planned for next week. I'm pretty sure I have my things close anyway.
We're very professional right now.
Always professional. Also, it's like all kind of our weeks are all fucked up. So.
Next week will
the
be
chemistry of love.
The chemistry.
Understanding the science behind attraction and romance. So we'll have a little bit of a nerdy conversation.
Oh, you guys have fun nerding out. I'm just gonna listen.
The role of pheromones and visual cues and initial attraction.
Oh.
The neurochemistry of romantic attraction. And the influence of oxytocin and vasopressin in relationships and bonding.
Great. Another munch. I'm going to be thinking about scissors.
That's right. There's 2 things in life you got to remember about scissors.
But I'll tell you what.
Don't run with scissors and don't scissor with runs. Good night, everybody.
Done. That's what.
Good night, everybody.